Hi, I'm Ross Tucker, and today on the Two Oceans Marathon Route Guide, we're looking at Southern Cross Drive, which on the half marathon is the most intimidating and well-known section of the race. It is a challenging climb, and it comes shortly after the halfway mark, and so it's in that awkward third quarter of the race. It's also fairly steep in points, but if you have your wits about you, and if you plan your race correctly, and you've done your training, then you can conquer Southern Cross and finish off the last 8 kilometers to UCT feeling strong. So here we are on Parish Road, about to make the left-hand turn onto Southern Cross Drive. This happens at around 10.5 kilometers, which means it's bang on halfway during the race. There is amazing crowd support at this stage, and so you will get the extra boost of a little bit of adrenaline to help you on the early parts of this climb. It is a climb that can be divided into 3 parts: a uphill section, flat section, another pull up, then a reprieve in the form of a short flat section before the final pull up to the top where you join the ultramarathon route. This is at around the 11-kilometer mark, and it is a fairly gradual but consistent climb. At this point, your only objective is to find a comfortable rhythm that you believe you will maintain for the duration of the climb. It's only about 2.5 kilometers in length, taking you from 10.5 to 13, and that should allow you to manage your effort accordingly. This section here is again the slight pull up. If you're starting to feel a little bit out of breath, legs are a little bit tired, don't panic, because very shortly it actually levels off. Where you can see right now there's a field to your right. This is a fairly flat section, perfect opportunity for you to just gather yourself, take a few deep breaths, maybe get a little bit of energy on board, because where you see the tree cover up ahead is where the steeper section of this climb begins. As you go under the trees now, it pulls up to around 9–10%, and this is challenging. A lot of it is about expectation management. If your expectation is to run the same pace, then this section will really bite you hard. And so you have to go in with some expectation that you will lose between 30 and 90 seconds per kilometer on this section, depending on your speed. As you bend off to the right at this section, you pass the 12-kilometer mark, and so you can tell yourself 1K to go. The other good news is that the road pretty soon levels out. Not for too long, but 200 meters is really all you need at this stage to again gather yourself, take a few deep breaths, take stock of how you're feeling, because where you are now and where you can see the road again bends ever so slightly to the right is another uphill pull. This kilometer between 12 and 13 is pretty much constantly uphill, and therefore in my experience is the slowest of the entire race. So don't panic if you see the clock is ticking and your time seems to be slipping away from you. Where the road now bends to the left, you actually get the benefit of a short descent before you can see the last slight climb up towards the finish of Southern Cross Drive. There you will hear music, there will be thousands of people welcoming you to the summit, and it's here that you can start to gather yourself for something of a push downhill. It's important that you keep in mind the concept of running over the hill. The last thing you want is to get to the top of this climb feeling so exhausted and tired that you can't cash in on the descent. And so rather hold back so that when you get to the top, you've got energy for the next 500 meters down.